we had AJ Styles versus Gunther. Yes, we had AJ Styles versus Gunther as the next match in the Royal Rumble PLE. This match was emotional for a lot of people. Number one, everybody knew coming into 2026 that AJ Styles was going to be retiring from professional wrestling. If you guys watched the Crown Jewel kickoff show ahead of his fantastic match with John Cena, which is easily one of the best matches of the year, I don't care what anybody says. AJ Styles versus John Cena at Crown Jewel last year was a fantastic match. And it basically showed you what could have been throughout the entire year in terms of John Cena's retirement tour. I think we are all in agreement that John Cena's retirement tour was I don't want to say a failure in terms of like financials, because they were selling merch left and right, but from a creative standpoint, the John Cena retirement tour was a botch. And a large portion of that had to do with the heel turn. Ever since John Cena turned babyface, they basically got almost the entirety of the John Cena retirement tour right in that later half of 2025, except for that Brock Lesnar match, because it really led to nothing. But the AJ Styles match is basically what we should have seen throughout the entire year in terms of John Cena's retirement tour. But in the kickoff show, AJ Styles did say that 2026 was going to be his last year wrestling for professional wrestling. He was going to retire in 2026. Nobody expected AJ Styles to retire in January of 2026. Everybody expected him to have like a full-on retirement tour and all that stuff. But then we get note of AJ Styles' contract being up in February. Now, AJ Styles did state years ago that he was asked if he wanted to go to AEW, and he says he has a lot of friends there, but you know, once his career is over, he wants to work with WWE in some capacity. And I can totally respect that. You know, AEW is not really for everybody, even though AJ would fit like a glove over there. But that's what he said at the time. When WWE randomly, they were doing this angle with Gunther and AJ Styles, in which Gunther, they had a match on a Raw, and AJ had him beat, but Gunther basically found a way to beat AJ Styles. And then they were continuing this feud with AJ and Gunther, and AJ randomly put his career on the line against Gunther. And they had great segments together. Everybody was like, what? Now, again, everybody knew that he was going to retire in 2026, but they didn't think he was going to retire this early. they didn't think that he was going to retire this early. So again, it made no sense. It didn't. And then we find out about his contract being up in February, and this could possibly be AJ Styles being written off of TV because his contract is going to be up in the month of February. Now, we do not know the exact day, but his contract is going to be up in February. But everybody, like, if there was anything that sparked interest in terms of the Royal Rumble show itself, it was this match, because everybody is thinking, like, the audience is split. One side thinks that this is actually AJ Styles' last match in wrestling, period. And the other side, and this is the side of that I'm in, thinks that this is AJ Styles' last WWE match because he's going to have a retirement tour of his own. He's not going to have any machine behind him. He wants to have matches in TNA, New Japan, and AEW. That's the boat that I'm going to be falling on. But the match itself, the match between Gunther and AJ Styles, was a really good match. I really enjoyed the match. Fun fact, Rudy Charles, yes, Rudy Charles, who was, I still call him Rudy Charles. He has a different name now. The referee that you guys see over here. He refereed a lot of AJ Styles matches in TNA. Yes, he was a part of TNA. That referee that refereed the Gunther and AJ Styles match was the referee in TNA. He was called Rudy Charles. He basically refereed this match, and I love how the people on commentary, Michael Cole, and essentially acknowledged that, which was great. But this match was not as an emotional roller coaster for me as it was for a lot of people, because again, I have my theories, and honestly, I feel like I'm going to be right in this scenario. But number one, Gunther's fantastic. I've always said this. Gunther retired Goldberg. He retired Cena. And in kayfabe, he retired AJ Styles. If that doesn't make you a much bigger star, especially as a heel, I do not know what is. What WWE is doing with Gunther is absolutely pure perfection. And I've said this throughout the past couple of shows. Gunther, especially with him retiring John Cena and all that stuff, Gunther has become a heat magnet. Everywhere he goes, the heat that he gets is just enormous. But it's really good heel heat. Really good heel heat. He is the type of heel, he's that type of heel that is an intimidating figure just by his size and somebody who dominates. Not only that, their matches are just entertaining. Gunther is the type of wrestler that he has entertaining matches. Every single Gunther match that you watch is just fantastic. I genuinely believe he's one of the best wrestlers, in-ring wrestlers in the world. He's that damn good at what he does, and he's such a good character as well. He's a simple character, but he's an effective character, and that's what makes Gunther great. That's what makes Gunther great. And what they're doing with him retiring everybody, is it emotional? Yes. But at the end of the day, there's a reason for everything. And there's a reason why they're pushing Gunther the way that they're pushing Gunther. It's because he's a destined main event guy. And he's been a destined main event guy for years at this point, for the last 2 years at this point. Former world heavyweight champion, 2-time world heavyweight champion. I assume he's probably going to win a world title later this year. We're going to have to wait and see. But, Gunther is the man. He is the man. Every single Gunther match that you watch is amazing. It's painful, but it's amazing. He beat the hell out of AJ Styles in this match. Chops just beat the living snot out of this dude. And in the end, Gunther made AJ Styles go to sleep with the sleeper hold. The same move that he beat John Cena with. So AJ Styles lost, as expected with a lot of people. I expected him to lose, and he did. And after that, Gunther walks away, and AJ Styles basically gets a standing ovation from the entire audience in Saudi Arabia. And by the way, the crowd in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, was fantastic. I definitely enjoyed the crowd in Riyadh. But they gave a standing ovation to AJ. AJ took off his gloves. It looked like he was about to put him down in the ring, but he put him back on. And then he left, came back to the ring, did his pose on the top rope, and then left again. So that begs the question. What is AJ Styles' future after the match that he had with Gunther? What is his future after the Royal Rumble? Again, you have one side that stated this is going to be AJ Styles' last match. You have a group of people that think that this is going to be AJ Styles' last match. And you have another group of people that think that AJ Styles is going to be exploring his options. Now, AJ Styles did state that this recent contract that he signed with WWE a couple years ago was his last full-time WWE contract that he was going to sign. He stated this in numerous interviews. And he did state that he was going to be retiring in 2026. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can't see this match being AJ Styles' final match in his entire career. I just can't. I cannot. I genuinely believe AJ Styles deep down knows what he wants to do if he really wants to go out on a bang in terms of his career. And there's so many possibilities. The possibilities are endless. Now, everybody's talking about TNA. Oh, he's going to have one run in TNA. And look, AJ Styles did tease going after the TNA World title on the first TNA show on AMC. He very well may win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Well, you never know. That very well could happen. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to have a full-time run in TNA. Number one, and this is the big question that we all need to ask ourselves. Can TNA even afford AJ Styles? I don't think so. But I think he can make some brief appearances in TNA, maybe have a couple matches in TNA. AJ Styles, yeah, he made his return to TNA last year, and he made an appearance in TNA this year in the AMC debut. But, AJ, he hasn't had a match in TNA yet. I would love to see a match with him and Mike Santana. I would love to see a match between him and, Eric Young, or him and Leon Slater. I'd love to see an AJ Styles versus Leon Slater match. I think it'd be very, very, very fun to see. I'd be very excited about that. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I do believe he will make a couple. I genuinely believe he will make brief appearances in TNA, and I genuinely believe he will have a couple matches in TNA. But the big talking point is AEW. The big talking point is AEW. And why do I say AEW? Oh, he's not going to go to AEW. There's nothing for AJ Styles to do in AEW. I beg your pardon? You genuinely have a lot of people think that there's nothing for AJ Styles to do in AEW. Content creators that I love watching say that they have no desire in watching AJ Styles in AEW. And that's your opinion. That's fine. And I respect it. But I have to disagree with you. 110%. And you guys probably know who I'm talking about. And I'm not going to name his name because, again, I respect him. I'm a fan of his content. But I have to vividly disagree with that sentiment. There's a lot for AJ Styles to do in AEW. Look at the main event scene right now in AEW. The main event scene in AEW right now is as stacked as it could possibly be. The world title scene alone is very interesting, to say the least. The world title scene right now in AEW is MJF, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, to an extent Samoa Joe. We got Will Ospreay looming. We got Will Ospreay in a couple months coming back. And you know for a fact he's going to be inserted in that mix because, again, he's one of the top guys in AEW who's currently out with an injury. You know for a fact there's a lot of things for AJ Styles to do. Look at the match possibilities for AJ Styles in AEW. AJ Styles versus MJF. Could you imagine the promo battles between the two guys? Oh my God. Holy shit. AJ Styles versus Hangman Page. AJ Styles versus Swerve Strickland. The dream match that everybody wants to see. AJ Styles versus Will frickin' Ospreay. Everybody wants to see that match. Everybody. Imagine AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay at All In at Wembley Stadium. That's like the ultimate dream match right there. Oh, no. Better yet. AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega. There's a reason why AEW is pushing Kenny Omega the way that they're pushing him. It's because they don't know how long Kenny Omega has left in him. Because Kenny Omega is essentially near the end of his career as well. And AEW really wants to give Kenny Omega that one last run with the World Championship. And I genuinely believe Kenny Omega will win the AEW World Championship in 2026. I genuinely believe that. But, again, who kicked AJ Styles out of the Bullet Club? Oh, I know who. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, the Elite. They kicked AJ out of the Bullet Club. There is a story to be told there. And AEW could explain it vividly with their audience. Because their audience knows. Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles is another dream match that we all want to see now. They've wrestled before, but that was years ago. I'm talking about like now. And they can finally pay that, that storyline off. They can pay it off in a different way, but I mean, dude, there's a story to be told with Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. Better yet, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Yeah. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Now, we've seen plenty of AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe matches. I mean, come on. We've seen him in TNA. I mean, hell, we've seen him in WWE. I believe, what was it, SummerSlam 2018 that they had their match? I mean, they had plenty of matches with each other, but I feel like the best final match for AJ Styles is a match against Samoa Joe. That's like the best AJ. That's like literally the best AJ Styles, like the best last match that you could book for AJ Styles. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. because Samoa Joe is one of AJ Styles' greatest rivals. And where is Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe is in AEW. AJ Styles is going to be all elite. Mark my words. Right here, February 1st, Sunday, February 1st, 2025, AJ Styles will be all elite. He's going to retire in 2026. Don't get it twisted. He is going to retire in 2026. But he's going to have a brief run in TNA, and then he's going to have his last couple of matches in AEW before he calls it a career. I cannot, I repeat, I cannot see this match with Gunther being his last match. I just can't. I just can't. I'm being brutally honest with you guys. I cannot see this being his last match. If it is, fantastic career. It wouldn't be the way that I would go out, but it is what it is. But there's so much left on the table. An AJ Styles retirement tour. A retirement tour in which he will go out on his own terms. And I know John Cena stated that last year, but let's be honest, he didn't really go out on his own terms. Because let's be honest, that heel run was disastrous. AJ Styles has a chance to do the opposite. AJ Styles has a chance to do the opposite. He has a chance. The question is, will he play ball or not? We're going to have to wait and see. But my bold prediction, AJ Styles will be all elite.